look into the future now. How much more can grinders develop? I mean, is there more that can be automated in this high-tech world, or is there even better, precise machines that you can produce to give even better quality cuts?
Well, I think the future will always continue to evolve. If anyone tells you that there isn't more that you can do, they're not working hard enough, in my opinion. As we look at the process and how things are done, that grinding can do a lot of different things. We can look at different materials. We can look at different processes. Going off of your question on customer and support, I think there's an opportunity to integrate even more technology, especially from that support standpoint, bringing your machine to be more integrated into an IoT type solution, bringing those things in so that when a customer has an issue, Ian was speaking about, 24 hours, 36 to 48 to 72. The reality is the machine can talk more than you think it can. And so at the end of the day, as you develop the next generations, not only from a standpoint of how they're cut and how the process works, it's how to ensure that you can take care of that machine, the health, all the way down to its life, which obviously goes out there and in quite a number of years. So I think as well as we have to respond to the industry, you're looking at different evolution of when you're cutting the grass, whether it's gas powered, going to electric powered, what does that mean? Well, we need to look at what we can do to support that part of the industry. Also different metals, if you look at Toro and their hardened blades, you have to look at, they may come up with something that is entirely different than what is standard today, and that could become a standard in the industry. So yeah, you're going to continue to see evolution. Grinders are absolutely not maxed out in their ability and what they're going to do. Also, especially with how it's used. Foley over the years has created a walkthrough tutorial with the screens and for training. And I think there's more ways to do that. We also have to recognize, as I'm sure you're familiar with globally, the challenge of all these apps and all the things and the younger people who are coming into the industry and what their skill sets are. We have to ensure that our machines can integrate to what they're used to. They're used to looking and doing things on a phone. They're looking at that interface and usability and user interface. That is a huge part of what we've been focused on the last 2 or 3 years at Foley, and it's going to apply to the rest of the products we developed.
You mentioned their developments with the manufacturers. How closely do you work with them to keep ahead of the curve, as it were, in terms of where they might be going?
We've really developed a great relationship with all of the various manufacturers. And in fact, we've had some of the manufacturers approach and come to us and are now bringing us in to, as they develop their products and they realize that this is going to potentially impact, the most key part of it is that the Foley grinders are a shop tool. This investment here can support $500,000 to $1 million of equipment. Well, I better make sure that, everything I've put into this $1 million, this fleet of equipment, can be executing and doing what it's asked to be done. And so now they're coming to us, asking us to partner with them. We've been asked by OEMs to develop solutions that are specific to them. So I see that piece of the industry coming together even tighter than it is, historically.
And if I come back to you, Ian, UK market, if people want to get in contact with you, how do they find you?
Basically, my company, Pro Sport UK. If they Google Foley, basically Foley UK, they'll get me, or Pro Sport UK here in the UK. And then obviously my mobile number is actually on my website, so they can contact me via my mobile number straight away.
Last time I was talking to you, it was about an investment that you made in a new facility. How's that coming together, and what was the driving force behind doing that? Perhaps, Paul, you'd like to answer that.
Yeah, it's a great question because we've been getting that quite often because we made a significant investment recently. We took about 2 years to look at how Foley was going to evolve as a company in both manufacturing, operations, and training. So for us, we built a roughly 70,000 square foot facility, which is roughly 6,800 square meters, I believe, facility. And with that, we created a advanced production process. We integrated a brand new training room, which we pulled into that significant amount of technology, obviously leveraging video conferencing, high speed, et cetera, and then office space and whatnot. And the key to that was to create an environment that not only can we create a stronger video library, training online, but it also allows us to do live training and focus on that on the machines right there. And we create a very easy environment for our individuals here, as well as we invite, hopefully post-COVID, now that we hopefully can start traveling again, we have this training facility and area that will be very inviting, and it's going to be able to bring in customers, as well as whether it's, we host a number of individuals from outside the US. And so this environment actually is very conducive for the training and whatnot, both in person as well as, online virtually.
As we're coming out of COVID, do you see things being a bright future for the industry?
I've been pleasantly surprised. If we look at the numbers, we have 500,000 new golfers that have come into the industry. We've seen golf courses have, interestingly enough, they've evolved. And, it's in North America and the UK especially, they're figuring out how to support more rounds of golf and increasing that revenue stream in a way that they probably weren't prepared for, but were pushed in that direction from a necessity standpoint. So I continue to see the industry to grow a little bit now. And with people's focus on being outside and doing things and not standing or sitting in a room watching a TV screen, people are more engaged, and golf has been a huge beneficiary to that. So I continue to see that as positive. It's almost like the Tiger Woods effect. When Tiger Woods came into the industry, that was an X factor that pushed the demand. COVID turned out to be a similar event.
I think I've covered everything I want to, and it's nice to end on a positive note, even if it does involve COVID there, Paul. Ian, Arjen, and Paul, thank you very much for your time today, and we'll let you get back to doing what you should be doing. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Come on.
You.